Welcome to the Bedworth Bowling Club, where the North Midlands County Crown Green Bowling Association are hoping to clinch a victory over North Lancashire and Fylde, which will see them reach the finals of the Martel Inter-County Championship for only the 5th time. A good win in the semi-finals over fellow Midlanders Staffordshire was just the confidence boost the North Midlands needed. But they know that today's opponents, North Lancashire and Fylde, who lost their last match against Wales, will be looking for the same sort of result as when the teams last met, which was last season, when the Northern outfit won both home and away by 28 overall. So what are North Midlands' chances today? And who better to ask than my co-commentator, the North Midlands president, Bob Harrigan. Right, Bob, chances this afternoon?
Well, it's a calculated gamble. Obviously, we think we've got a great chance of winning the match. But this is the first time we've used this green. I would consider it in the awkwardness or the hardness, the difficulty of bowling this green. This must be about the second or third in the Midlands, in the top 3 in North Midlands. Sorry, Mike. We've made one change. We've just brought in Jimmy Campbell, who won the Wednesday Merit on here, beating Peter Varney in the final. And we're looking forward to an excellent game. If we can hold the visitors to about 20, we're looking the away side, at Preston. If we can hold them to about 20, and we're hoping to take this match in the 50-shot region.
And of course, it's a green that takes some bowling with concentration paramount. Who are the players you'll be looking for a good performance this afternoon?
Well, the one I've mentioned is Jimmy Campbell. I'm looking for a good performance off all of them. Peter Varney bowls it very well. Stu Harry, they all like it. But when we go to selecting a team for this type of green, we did take a lot of knowledge off the home side themselves, which is the Bedworth Bowling Club, and we asked them for their opinions of some of the best bowlers who bowl this green. Along with our own choice, this is the team we've come up with.
And you're looking for a plus of 60 perhaps?
Well, 50 to 60, and I think that'll see us through.
Right. Now, of course, for those who are not used to Crown Green bowling, this is the home leg, the away leg being played in North Lancashire and Fylde. Players already started. The first 2 matches are already on the green, and that is between Jim Robertson, the North Midlands champion, against Brian Tomlinson. Nick Skidmore, who we featured in the last match against Staffordshire, against Steve Ellis, a former winner of the Waterloo. And the game just about to go on the green, Stuart Harry against David Fairlass. Of course, the game we're going to be concentrating on, Bob, in the first 4 is Roly Pratt. Over 100 appearances for North Midlands against John Hudson. Before they start, how do you see that one going?
Well, Rolly's very confident. He only lives about 4 hours away from this green. Though he hasn't given it his usual practice is a fortnight solid. It has been said he puts a tent on round the green to stay there all night, but of course with his house up the road there's no need to bother. But he had a game here about 3-4 weeks ago against one of the home side, had a very, very confident win on it, and he is certainly full of confidence himself today.
And I think it's true to say that Ken Clark, the groundsman here, has done an excellent job. The green, a fairly large one, 50 by 40, and very tricky.
Very, very tricky. You're not going to see that many woods positioned round the jack. You're going to see the long strings will be out on a good few ends.
Weather not been too bad recently, so it's running reasonably well, I understand.
Yes, it's the players are quite happy. You do not want this green stupid or silly, running absolutely miles. They just can't control on it. I came up Wednesday and watched a match on here, and they were literally throwing the woods down this hill. But today, the woods are running on and on and on. It could be a long game.
And a very big crowd here to watch this competition.
Yes, we're very proud of the support we get for our county matches now, Mike.
And now the match that we're going to concentrate on is just about to start on the green. The referee for this afternoon's encounter is Gordon Dutton from the Potteries, a very experienced official. And of course we need experienced officials in the semi-finals of county championships, Bob.
Oh yes, you've got to have you want the real experienced boys at this, because temperament and everything, when they start getting measures, players get a little bit agitated. So if the referee's on top of his job, they're quite happy.
And now this match is just about to start between John Hudson and Roly Pratt. And of course John Hudson will be leading the jack. He will be setting the first mark. And for those who are unfamiliar with the game of Crown Green bowls, that means that the jack must travel a distance of 90 metres or more. John Hudson, 26 years of age, from the Tarleton Club. A very, very experienced player. Both these players, of course, will want to get a good result, the first end, psychologically important. Rowley Pratt now. All the supporters here will be looking for Rowley to produce the sort of performances which have seen him win over 70 of his 100 county games.
He's short with his first one, Mike.
Second bowl of John's coming in here. He's counting 2 at the moment. Rowley will certainly want to be up at this end. Very, very experienced player from the Dunlop Club, Rowley Pratt. He'll have spent many hours on this green prior to this.
Yeah, he's coming down the slope. Yeah, he's took this shot.
That's an excellent bowl by Rowley Pratt. Of course, nerves play an important part at this stage, Bob.
Well, they do, but I wouldn't have thought this gentleman's got any nerves, not with 100 knot caps.
No, that's true. Of course, amongst some of the big wins by Rowley Pratt is the fact that he won the Midland Masters. He's won the Bass Olympia, 2 of the biggest competitions in the Midlands. He's won the North Midlands Merit 3 times, Bob.
Yes. He's only got his name. He's missing off 1 cup in the North Midlands. That's the M&B handicap. He's got his name on every other cup.
Of course, I understand he started to play bowls at the age of 19, and his father was winner of the North Midlands Merit as well, I believe.
He was the one of the leading lights at the old Morris Motors, one of the best teams in the North Midlands, but sadly gone along with some of the other major companies.
I think it's true to say, Bob, this second end here, this is going to be synonymous with some of the bowls we're going to see this afternoon.
I think so, yes.
Not an easy green to bowl by any means. As this end is demonstrating, I mean, these bowls...
See, John's going to go out the back.
...are well away from the jack. But still, they all count on the card. The number 4 on the back of Pratt, that shows that he's the 4th player on the programme this afternoon. For those spectators present, very important that we present the image of Crown Green bowls correctly. Some of these people may not have seen Crown Green bowls before, and they want to know and choose the player they want to follow. There's plenty of room for John to get in here.
Well, there is,
Bob.
if he can adjust, yes. He's fairly high up the green, but it's the weight here to get the wood to drop, and it's not going to drop. It's going to run out. It's gone through. 2 to Roland.
2 to Rowley Pratt. So although they're bad bowls, he gets the sort of start that he would want, Bob. 3-0.
Yes. When we say bad bowls, if people are looking for woods round the jack, you can say they're bad, but on some of these marks, and the way the green's running this afternoon, you're not going to call those bad.
No, not at all. They all look the same on the card. Now, of course, Rowley will be looking for one of these marks that he's been practising on all for the last fortnight.
No, Rowley's just come back from his holidays. This is the one match where he hasn't done his usual 60 hours practice. But I can assure you, he came on it Friday when he got back. He flew straight back from Lanzarote, and I think he was out Friday morning having a roll, then work, then back, and then he lived on here yesterday.
But at least his dedication is there.
Oh, yes.
I think this is going to go around the back again as well.
No.
Collected the jack?
It could run down the jack. No, it stopped today. A lot of times the jack will get hit in that position and simply go on down the hill. But John's bowled an excellent wood there.
Now Rowley will be attempting to arc round to the jack here and drop just inside that bowl.
He's got the line. He's got the line.
The holiday's done him good, Bob.
Cracker, wasn't it, eh? One of his specialities is Roland. He loves the round peg marks.
That's an almost impossible bowl to beat, I would have thought. And certainly that's proved to be the case.
Proved.
So 4-0 to Rowley Pratt after just 4 ends. Because Rowley's a 54-year-old lorry driver. And he's certainly driving home at the moment. He tells me that he's played many famous names in county matches, Brian Duncan, Dick Merrick, who he rates as probably one of the best. And interestingly enough, it was way back in 1963 when he played his first county match, and that was in Shropshire, and he tells me he won 21-18.
Well, he's one of these bowlers, Mike, that he's got every record of every wood and every game he's played. He keeps his own personal records.
Now,
this is the thumb mark back down here now. Round peg, he likes to bowl it. The idea is he wants to stay up here on the right, Mike.
That's right.
There it is. Great big swinging mark, all on weight. You won't want to go too far past this jack.
And that's a fair bowl there. Concentration here important for John Hudson. He hasn't scored yet. He wants to get in this end. And the ball now start arcing round towards the jack.
He's gone second.
Just gone out the back. Yes, shade narrow there, Rowley.
It's more the weight, Mike. This is what happens if you don't get the weight and come right round the top of the hill. It might be in a shade narrow, but...
Of course, Bob referred to a round peg there, and for those who don't know the game of crown green bowls, that means the bias and the slope of the green supplement each other.
I would say John's miles heavy here. He's going to go out the back.
Another one to Rowley Pratt.
Heavy.
5-0, he leads after just 5 ends. And of course, he's keeping it simple at the moment, Bob.
Well, I wouldn't call this mark simple. This is, as you say, yes.
Well, simple in terms of going out into the country.
Yeah. I'm sure Gary Julian of the home club wouldn't like you to call it a simple mark. It's his pet mark. Whether John will decide to have a go at turning over it, I don't know, but he'll find that nearly as hard.
Yes, there are 2 ways into the jack, and an experienced player like John Hudson, who, of course, in 1990 reached the semi-finals of the Waterloo Handicap, so he's no mug. Another good lead there by Rowley Pratt.
Perfect weight. What is he? 1.5 on the side?
Looks to be trying, but could have dropped short. Rowley's chosen not to ask the referee for any help.
Of course, he's trying to do him on weight as well, Mike, isn't he? I mean, it's 2-3 yards more slower this way, going back up this way.
Yeah.
And he's not got it up himself, and this wood will start to come back to him now, yes.
And, of course, this is a pure weight green, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't want to do too many of them. You're showing your opponent.
He's thinking whether to strike here, John, but no, he's decided against it. 2 options open to him, to bowl it or to take Pratt's shot bowl out.
He's gone very wide, and I doubt if he's got the weight. No, he has. He's coming back down the hill again. I can't see the...
Oh, John Hudson was in.
Now, Mike, where does John go? He's had half an hour's practice, but still he doesn't look very confident, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Always going for a long one.
Because he's only had half an hour to practice this green, and what he may have decided to do is what many of these northern bowlers do. They select perhaps 2 or 3 marks while they're practicing and hope that they can get some quick knowledge of that during practice, which will enable them to get a reasonable bowl, but certainly that's not good enough, I would have thought, against Rowley.
Well, what is he, 15 yards away?
He is, yes.
Yeah.
Rowley taking his time.
He's going right around the top of the green, Mike, and he's trying to get his wood to get nearly up level and then come over the bank. If he's got the weight to get over.
Stuck on the top.
No, yeah. Another foot of weight and he'd have come practically down to the jack.
Not sure. None of those 2 bowls should count.
Yeah. John's adjusted a little bit better.
Still shouldn't be good enough, though, against an experienced player like
Roland.
Pratt.
I should have thought Roland will get in here for one. He looks to have a little bit more weight in this one. Miss his own.
Watching this bowl intently now, Pratt, as he walks up the green. He's hoping that he's going to pull around.
He's pulled short.
Another one.
He's one down.
Neither player yet seemingly unsung, Bob. I know it's a difficult green, but
no, it'll take John a quarter of an hour or so to find the weight on a particular mark he wants to bowl. He's never going to find the weight all over this green.
Of course, John Hudson has visited the Midlands many times, and I saw him 2 or 3 years ago bowl exceptionally well in the final stages of the big Meole Brace Open competition in Shropshire, where he unfortunately lost in the final to Robert Hitchin. And his performances in the Waterloo demonstrate that certainly the British Rail trackman is down the track when he comes to playing bowls. Nice delivery, Rolly Pratt. Only ever dropped once, Bob, for your county. That was after 3 games. He's played 100 consecutively. So he tells me.
Yes, that's right, Mike. Yes, he's only been dropped once in his life. He's just put a good wood on there.
Hudson won't be short, attempting to run the jack through.
He's hit the
which
jack,
he's done it.
And that's made him 2, Mike.
Yes, he could do with counting these 2. Good Hudson. 5-2 at the moment to Pratt.
This looks as if it's going to get there, Mike.
Stop short on the top.
Stop short.
2 more to Hudson. So, Hudson coming back into it. He's had a feel of that jack now, Bob.
Yes, he'll get a little bit of confidence with that. That was a good shot, that was.
Yes, definitely. There's an old saying, if you're not up and on land,
you don't get nothing.
That's right.
He was aiming at the wood and the jack. He got the bonus and got the jack and went through, made 2.
Because last year, I mean, North Lancashire and Fylde, as I said in my opening introduction, they beat you home and away. They'll remember that.
Oh, no doubt. We beat them the previous year, was it, on Newdigate? We won by about 2 or 3 shots, I think, overall.
As Roland Pratt has won all of his county games this year, he's only one of 4 North Midlands players to achieve that. And likewise, John Hudson has won 2 of his, but the second one was a 21-10 win over former Waterloo champion John Eccles, which I understand was an outstanding performance. Hudson will want to score this end and at least get level.
Roland's bowled short. I don't think he's quite got the pace over this part just yet. He's trying to bowl for what you usually do, to the top of the hill and let it run down, but they're just not going. It's not that quick today, Mike.
No. And of course, as you said at the start, Bob, it is a gamble to select a green that you haven't used for, well, I think it's the first time it's ever been used.
Yes, we've never used it for a county match, but we've got to broaden our scope for greens. I mean, what do you need, Mike? 3, 4, you need 5 at least.
You do, yes.
He's put a little bit more in with this one. It's whether he can beat John's. It's going to slow in that green stuff.
Certainly.
Oh, it's trickling on a bit. I would doubt if he's on there.
No, I'd fancy John Hudson from here, although it's still moving.
Oh, it's
stopped and moved again.
Well, it stopped and went again.
So Rolly Pratt scores 1.
And that's typical of this green, that would.
6-4 to Rolly Pratt. Of course, as county president, you're going to be looking for, hopefully, someone in the top 4 to get a single-figure card to get you off to a good start.
Yeah, we'd try and get 2 on this green.
Just a reminder to those people who are very well versed in records. North Midlands have appeared in the finals on 5 occasions, but they never actually won the event. They last appeared in the final in 1991 when they lost to Yorkshire. North Lancashire and Fylde have been in the semi-finals on 3 occasions, but they never actually appeared in the final. But of course they are a very young county in terms of the championships.
Rowley's on with his first one, Mike. Look, John Bolden now, he's come over that hill and he's going on and on and on now.
There'll be a few shaking of heads this afternoon, Bob.
Yeah, I was watching that in the North Langston Fylde roll-up. They couldn't believe some of these slopes and hills and where their woods ended up.
Of course, at the same stage as this match is taking place here at the Bedworth Club, just a reminder that the first 4 games will be played at Parkfield, where the home leg for North Lancashire and Fylde is. And we hope to have news through the programme of how that match is progressing. The 4 players representing North Midlands there will be Paul Lamb, David Burdett, Bob Gilfillan and Pete Spencer. So they'll be hoping to do likewise up in North Lancashire and Fylde and give the North Midlands a good start there, like they did in the last match against Staffordshire.
Well, John's bowled his last wood. I don't think he can't win it. Whether he's 2 down, I don't know.
Rowley will certainly be looking for 2 here. He's certainly not got 2 because he's removed 1 bowl of his own.
And he's not too sure about his other one yet.
And of course,
we're getting a foreshortened view of it, Mike, and we...
That's right, and if the players can't decide, then the referee will come onto the green with 2 measurers, 1 from each county, 1 to Roland Pratt. So therefore he leads 7-4. Plenty of encouragement from the crowd here. They were disappointed last year, Bob, the North Midlands supporters. They thought after your appearance in the final the previous year, things were looking up, but last year was disappointment, but at least seem to have got it right this year so far.
We're going very well, haven't we? We won our 3 in the group. I mean, last year, even though we finished, I think it was bottom in the group, if we'd have won our last game, we had every chance of qualifying. The group was that tight.
Yes. Rowley looking for another good bowl here. 7-4 he leads. Now play is stopping here simply because a mark is being measured in front of the 2 players. I find that very unusual, Bob, when one player has sent the jack and his first bowl, for that to take place. Could be off-putting to the players.
John sent his, hasn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
If they put a wood apiece, usually it's etiquette to wait till the end's finished.
Yes, that's true.
And then measure.
Still, the referee's in charge. That's the same in all sports. And Gordon Dutton there decided that he wanted the measurement to take place. And this bowl, as you can see, is short, well short of the jack.
Still trickling down, Mike. Stopped about 3 yards short.
Nice delivery there by Rowley Pratt. Determined delivery. He wants another win.
Let's hope the end product's a bit better than his first one.
Now this bowl should start to...
It's coming down the hill now, Mark.
Arc round towards the jack. This is the shot bowl at the moment, but remembering John Hudson's still got 1 left. And in connection with the last end they bowled down here, Bob, that's a reasonable bowl.
Yeah. Though if you look at Roland's first one, it's more up by his family than the jack.
Again, John having to wait. because there are other games taking place on the green. But he's too experienced to be put off by that. This ball now travelling across this green here at Bedworth in excellent condition, waiting now to come off the top and run all the way down to the jack, and it looks to have a fair
like the
chance.
winning wood, Mike.
This is the winning ball, probably one of the best John Hudson's put a ball afternoon.
Yes, lovely.
Right
wood.
on the jack. Applause from the crowd for that.
Very good.
So one more to John Hudson. Roland Pratt leads 7-5. Had 3 clubs altogether in his bowls career, he tells me, Bob, and at the present time, of course, plays for your club, Dunlop.
Dunlop, yes. He came from us from Newdigate 10 or 12 years ago. Of course, his first club was with his father at the Morris. The family's carrying on with the tradition because his son is now a very good bowler who's bowling with the Dunlop club.
Of course, that's one of the things about this game. Many players become interested because of the involvement of their family, their father. I mean, I know my father used to bowl, and that's how I became interested. And obviously many of the players playing here this afternoon. Now, of course, John Hudson wants to change the mark here. Roll is played up and maybe through. He may have gone out the back. It's difficult to see from this angle. Beautiful shot there of John Hudson delivering the ball. He's just gone.
Oh, he's corrected now. He's on there, Mike.
Yes, he has. Yeah. Yes. Corrected the ball there. That's a good ball by John Hudson. Roland Pratt will just want to pass that.
Lovely weight. Stuck a bit on the side. He may have won it. Can't quite see. John's Wood's hiding it from our view.
Close look here by John Hudson. It's obviously that Roland Pratt fancies his. It looks as if we're going to have the measures on for the first time in this match, and we are. Interestingly as well, Bob, as we're watching this game, we can hear the noise of the traffic on the M6 in the background. And I suppose one of the things, the modern technology, is that in the old days when it was a day out to go to play a county match, probably up in Lancashire, and you can get back late at night now because of the motorway, you can scoot up there and be back fairly quickly.
Yes, I suppose, I mean, in a car you do Preston very comfortable in 2 hours, hour and a half, easy to the away game.
That's right. Now here is Gordon Dutton awaiting the measurers to come and measure the end. His decision, of course, will be final. The new rule in British Crown Green Bowling Association says that both players shall stand away from the end, which both these are. The decision will be made by the referee. He's made that decision and he's awarded 1 to Roland Pratt. So he leads 8-5. Roland changing the mark here, Bob.
He's come straight over the green. Normally this is one of the hard marks to bowl because anything past that jack usually goes straight in the ditch. This one is really weight more than anything. He'll want to get, he's getting towards the top of the hill. He's on the top of the hill now. This is where he wants his wood to start losing pace.
Start to arc round now as the bias takes effect.
He's bowled. That's perfect weight there. He's only a couple of foot to the bowler's right.
Well bowled Roland, some of the crowd shout, and they're probably the shoe judges here. There's plenty of supporters from the home club. They know this green better than anyone, so they'll know whether that's a good bowl or not. And it's certainly better than the one that Hudson's produced, I think.
It starts to break over this way. It starts to curve this way, but it's not going to win. No, it's stopped. He hasn't got the weight too bad, Mike. It's just he's out with the land.
Probably miss it by an inch coming over the top of the crown, Bob, and you'd be yards away.
Yeah.
Of course, Rowley want to seize an opportunity here to get 2, to give him a 10-5 lead, and he doesn't look bad this time.
Doesn't look too bad. A little bit quicker than his first one. Whether it's going to stop for 2, I don't know. I would doubt it. It's coming out now. Here it comes down this hill.
Absolutely amazing. John Hudson's asking if it's only 1. I don't know whether he's contemplating a strike here.
This is one of the things, don't they, Mike? These top bowlers, I mean, they don't matter if it's not a toucher, if they think they got more chance of striking it and it's in their makeup to strike, they'll have a go at it.
He is going to strike here. Yeah. This will wake up the crowd if it connects. Here he comes. Just missed. 1-2. Roland Pratt. I would think not many strikes connect on this green, Bob. It's very difficult.
No, it's very, very difficult.
Because there are people in the game who don't think the strikes should be allowed. I disagree with that. I think it's good theatre. I think it creates an interest. It creates atmosphere. People wait to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, some bowlers, you know, the strikes in their makeup, they like it. We're watching one now, Roland. If he was in a football team as a striker, I think he'd have been out of business years ago. He admits that he's not the world's best striker. He much prefers to bowl it than strike.
Now, this could be an interesting mark. I don't think we've actually bowled this before, Bob, so far up into that side of the green.
There's a great big hole up here with a big bank. You can virtually come right round on itself. Rowley's bowled it narrow. He's going to go right down the hole now. This is a terrible wood.
That's the heaviest part of the green, I understand, up there.
Well, the heaviest is the opposite corner, Mike, up the opposite. But this is the one with the big bank and it swings right round. He's ended up, anything, 15 yards away. Of course, the problem there is whether he's frightened his opponent, I don't know. But he must have given him some confidence. Think he can beat that.
That's right. He doesn't bowl many of those on Dunlop, I shouldn't think, Bob.
No. See, now, John isn't that much better. When this finishes, it'll come down quite a bit. You've really got to be right up onto the bowler's left of this jack and try and get your wood to die up on the left and just trickle down to it.
Look how intently Rowley Pratt's watching this ball. He won't be satisfied with his first one, and he's hoping
he's inside again. He's inside again. He could come below John here. He's coming towards John's wood. He's hit John's wood. But he's gone out. He's
probably gone out.
Yeah, he's gone out. He won't be very pleased with that end.
He may have given a silly 2 away here. It's a crucial part of the game. And this ball now arcing round towards the jack. Yes, that'll do, I think.
He'll finish up quite a way, but he's got better weight, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He hasn't got the weight that the others would have.
Rowley pulling away, hoping it's going to trickle towards him.
Here it comes. It's trickling down, but I don't think he's going to salvage anything out of this.
Rowley wishing he'd got a bit of elastic in his pocket there to pull it through, but unfortunately it's against him. 9-7 to Rowley Pratt. I'd be almost nervous if I was either of them to bowl the corners on here, but
well, the visitors might be, but I'm sure Rowley won't. I haven't seen him on the mark. He beat the home bowler with quite comprehensively. Was the one straight up and down the middle of the green, but he's not tried that yet.
No.
He's trying to do him across these crowns, but he's bowling one way very well, but he's not getting it back the other way.
Both of these players, after a mark that they can get 2 or 3 ends with a feel of that jack and put the other player under pressure. And this is another one that's gone well through. This must be terrible green to play if we were playing under conditions where the last match was played, Bob, in Staffordshire, where we had a fortnight hot weather.
Yeah, well, we'd have had to have had the hose pipes out because it doesn't do the home team that much good.
See, Rowley's short again.
He's short again. You see, it's a big hill in front of him, a really big hill, crown. He's got to get up and over that, then it starts to gather pace as it runs down that way.
Of course, John will want to pass that front wood of Rowley's, and he's done it. He's got a good one here, Bob. That's 2.
Well,
that'll put him level.
He's 2.
If he collects those 2, it'll put him level.
Rolio should beat his first. I don't know whether he's going to beat his winning wood. He's got nice weight, all according to his line. He's got nice weight, Mike. He looks a bit inside to me.
Just gone out, I think. Yes, 1 more to John Hudson. Very close game, this, at the moment. What's going through Rowley's mind at the moment, do you reckon, Bob? You know him better than anybody.
Well, he'll be disappointed with his own performance on some of these marks. He's a very demanding player of his own ability. I mean, some of these ends we've seen him bowl down here are totally uncharacteristic, especially as he knows the green. And of course, here's John going back down there again.
Now, we've been concentrating on the game between Roland Pratt and John Hudson. And very importantly, on the green at the moment, North Midlands champion in view. You can see him now, Jim Robertson. He's leading 27 against his opponent, Brian Tomlinson. Now, Bob, this is exactly what you wanted.
Definitely, Mike. This is it. This is the single figure win we're looking for.
Yeah.
He's been bowling this green ever so well, Jack has. Of course, he is our county champion.
And that's right, yes. Now, of course, he bowls at Bedworth, so obviously...
Well, Bedworth X, which is up the road there, there's the social club that's up in the middle of Bedworth.
So he'd know quite a bit about this green, I presume?
Well, he knows about the same as him, but he's never bowled here as a league player.
Mm-hmm. But he must be on form this year if he's won your merit.
Oh, Jack's a good steady bowler, Jack is.
Mm-hmm.
He bowled for many years for the Newdigate club.
And of course, his opponent, Brian Tomlinson, he's won 2 games this year, 21-14 and 21-11 against John Gurney and Mark Britton, 2 of the North's best competitive players. So this is an extremely good performance. Obviously, everybody here, like yourself, Bob, is willing Jack Robertson's bowl.
Yeah, he's put this Jack on a... He's missed the mark. He's missed the ridge up there. He's gone off to the left.
And because you said earlier, this is the heaviest part of the green.
This is the heaviest part. Now Woods can go up that hill and come back to you. His opponent... Yes, his opponent's won the end.
Now, it's essential that Jack gets in here. What a confidence booster this would be.
He only got a fraction wide and...
He looks to be heavy. And
he looks to be heavy, but there's a big bank there, Mike.
He's missed his opportunity, that end. We'll stay with this game just at the moment because it is a crucial one. Brian Tomlinson's pulled away, but he's certainly won. Having a look just to see whether it's 2 or 1. And Brian Tomlinson will be relieved to get another one on his side of the card. We'll stay with this game just for the moment. You'll hear the cheers if Robertson gets his one this end, Bob.
Certainly, it's what we want. We don't want his opponent to get too many while you're on 20. But like all games, you know, that final step is sometimes the biggest.
And of course, the one thing that's important, that the cheer will go up and the other 3 players, although concentrating, they'll hear the cheer, they'll look round, they'll see that North Midlands have got a single figure card, and that'll boost them perhaps.
Yes, that's what it gives the team all a good push.
He's got his opportunity here, Robertson. He's coming into the Jack now. And this looks a good bowl. This could be a winning bowl, Bob.
Don't look bad weight, does it? Lovely.
Yeah, that's it for a 21-8 win if Tomlinson doesn't win that one.
Well, he's got to beat us. What, 2 foot wood, Mike? He looks quick to me. He
All
looks
the
too
North
quick.
Midlands officials will be waving that on. Gone through.
That's it.
So the first blood to the North Midlands. Jack Robertson 21, Brian Tomlinson 8. And now we'll quickly flash back to the game between Roland Pratt and John Hudson, which since we left it has not moved dramatically because Roland Pratt leads 10-9. Quick observation, Bob. Jack Robertson, 21-8, exactly the start you wanted.
Yeah, smashing. If we had another 5 or 6 of them, Mike, we'd be booking our passage, I hope.
That's right, yes. And this bowl.
Well, Roland's got 2 lovely woods on
2
here.
good bowls there.
John's gone in the ditch with his first.
He's Jack in the way in the middle of the green, so John throws it back. Concentration important for him here. He's going to have a strike, John Hudson. Probably after the jack here, rather than the bowl. Oh, just
unlucky.
Unlucky. But 2 more to Roly Pratt. He now leads 12-9. As we said earlier, Bob, not easy to strike, and we haven't seen one connect yet in this game.
No, very hard to strike. On a lot of greens, you just go straight for the jack as hard as you can, but even on going as hard as you can on this green, you've still got to make allowances for the crown.
Well, I think in my bowls career, I'm similar to Roly, Bob. I hit 1. I think the last one was 1978. I won't ask you how many you hit.
Well, I should be good because you have to keep firing all the times I'm down. He's short, gone up the hill.
He certainly seems to have put some short bowls up this afternoon, Roly, which is unlike him. He
very uncharacteristic of him. I think you'd be playing up, especially up this hill.
There's a much bigger crowd here this afternoon, Bob, than there was at the last game against Staffordshire.
It seems to be. Of course, there's a lot bigger green. Quite a few people around it. It could be, Mike. I'm not too sure how many's with the programmes, but they're all keen. As we always say, the best bowlers are sitting around watching.
That's right. Nice close-up there of John Hudson. It's always surprising to people who play the level green game, Bob, how different individual styles there are in Crown Green, more so perhaps in their game. You notice there that John holds the ball right up in front of him. Other players hold it low down like Rowley. Individual styles, and well, you know, that's something that's there. It's ingrained from when you first start to play, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Better bowl there by Rowley. Excellent.
Cracking bowl.
A toucher. What a bloodsucker, as they say in the north. Difficult bowl to beat there. It's coming across the green now.
He'd have a job to beat a front toucher, won't he? Not knowing the green, he can't go any other way at it.
No, it's a fair bowl because he's saved one. So Rowley now is 39 in the lead. I think that's the biggest advantage he's had, Bob. Could be just stealing the initiative.
He could be. He's going to come right down on this very fast piece now. This he's going to bowl it. This will be his thumb peg.
He's been bowling this corner exceptionally well, Rowley Pratt. Because this, in actual fact, is 1 week before the British Crown Green Individual Merit Championships, and Rowley was telling me that in 1967 he reached the semi-finals of that, Bob. So that was a good performance.
He's bowled a bit short here, Mike. He's ended up about two and a half yards short. It's whether John can get the weight. He hasn't been getting the weight down this mark.
Seems to be better with this one.
Yes. He's definitely got the line and length this time.
In fact, this could be a very
Can
good...
he pull up?
Could be a very good bowl.
Oh, there you are. Perfect.
Now, if Rowley can beat that, this will really put Hudson under pressure.
That would demoralise him. He don't look up to me.
Oh, that's a terrible ball.
Bad wood.
But in fairness, a bowler of Rowley's experience, he won't want telling. He'll know that. And of course, John Hudson now, a chance of scoring another 2. He looks to have a good line again. Yes, this is a good ball by Hudson. 2 good balls.
2 lovely
there.
woods.
Yes, yeah.
The thing is, if you look at John's score, most of his shots, his scoring shots, have come when Rowley's bowled very, very poor ends. We've not actually seen John commit and lick a very good wood.
No, that's true. Of course, one of the things is that you mentioned earlier on, Bob, you've made one change in this match. Now, North Lancashire and Fylde, they juggle their players about quite a bit. There are various views on this, of course, and one would imagine whichever team wins this afternoon, and of course we're biased, excusing the pun, that's a consideration for the final, because certainly this year the North Midlands on many occasions have certainly selected players at the same number.
Yes. What it is, Marcus, is a lot of these counties are that big that when it comes to picking their home team, they try and concentrate their home side round the green they're playing the match on. The North Midlands is a very small county. I think Cumbria might be smaller than us, I'm not too sure. But of course we don't have that sort of luxury. All our players are in one small circle, so we keep the teams near enough the same.
That's right. Now it looks at the moment as if Rowley Pratt is asking who's shot. And playing through here, so he must believe that he's not in. Certainly gone through the end.
No, he's one down, Mike.
As you said, Rowley's not a confident striker, and that may have been a situation where perhaps many other bowlers would have struck.
Well, that's what we're saying with the bowlers' make-up. Some bowlers would have taken the choice of saying, "Oh, I'll smash that off." But Rowland doesn't reckon he's the best striker in the world, and he'd sooner bowl through, put an extra couple of yards on and try and take the jack or the wood through.
Now, of course, Rowley's on the dreaded 13, Bob. He's been on that scoreline now for the last 3 ends. He leads 13-12.
I don't attach nothing to that 13. I don't know where that's coming. The only time I ever thought about 13 was when I was playing cricket.
Now, of course, talking about cricket, Rowley tells me that he was a keen cricketer, a keen rugby player. Didn't come into bowls till 19, but like most players, you'll find that they've played other sports well beforehand. I mean, I know Brian Duncan, the game's #1 player, was an accomplished table tennis player at one time. All I was ever good at was tiddlywinks. I won't ask you what you were good at, Bob, because everybody in the North Midlands will want to know. And
oh yeah, it's far too many. John's gone this mark where he scored before, and Rowland's bowled short again to it.
Yes, he's certainly not learned from over here the last time, which is unusual.
He's put a good wood up this time, John has.
I think Hudson's beginning to find the weight, which I think spells danger for Rowley Pratt, unless he starts to get his game together.
See, now that's criminal, that is. That's what we all hate doing, bowling a bad wood and then running up and hitting it with your second one.
And of course, that bad luck, as Bob's described, is good luck as far as Hudson's concerned, because for the first time in the game he draws level, 13 across. He has the jack. He seems to be putting his game together a little bit better than Rowley at the moment, Bob.
Rowley's not really bowling 100% as he can on this green. They've gone on this silly mark again. Now let's see if... Here he goes, top of the hill, Mike. Just see if he can trickle down to it now. Oh, he's going to stop on the top. Oh.
It must be very embarrassing to players, I think, Bob, you know, without being unkind.
Well,
to
it
see
is,
a ball like
but
that.
a lot of the players know what's... I mean, you see John just got over the hill and look where his wood's gone. He's right down the bottom of the green here.
They're probably thinking to themselves, you know, in normal circumstances I could probably hide, but this is on television, so therefore I can't.
No, they can't hide. We knew when we chose this green that we were going to have some ends like this. Oh, and that's criminal.
Now, the luck which was on John Hudson's side at the last end has deserted him there, because it means that he's knocked Rowley Pratt's bowl in, and Rowley really, in all fairness, should count to this end, Bob.
Well, he's got he can confidently go wide here, really wide, and get round to it.
He's done that. Now he's got to breathe heavy and hope that
wait, and he stops. Yes.
That's nearly gone back on the motorway up to North Lancashire and file, but it's counted
They're not
two to
pretty
Rowley.
woods, they're two on the card, Mike.
15-13 now to Rowley Pratt.
When you look at the card, all the twos look the same, whether they're touches or 15 yards away.
It's a wonderful record when you think about it. 100 consecutive games never to be dropped. I mean,
marvellous.
There aren't many players in Crown Green Bowls who can say that. I can think of people like Alan Powell, Stan Frith, Tony Poole, three off the top of my head I know.
Lawrence,
yes,
Shropshire.
yes, that's true. That's another one. There aren't many.
No.
But I believe that there was one other player in North Midlands, Baldwin was it, who played more, am I mistaken?
He played a lot, but he never got 100.
He didn't get 100.
Oh, stocking forward bowler, the Baker man.
Yes. Oh, that's a great bowl there by Rowley Pratt. That's the best bowl Rowley's put up all afternoon. Because it was ironical that Alan Powell, who holds the record, incidentally, for more county appearances than any other player in the country, he played his 100th league game against the player that you've put in your side this afternoon after an absence, Jimmy Campbell. Now, I won't embarrass Jimmy by saying what the scoreline was, but really, I know on the day, Alan, similar to Rowley, appreciated the tremendous support he'd had over the years from people in the association, and what a thrill it was.
Yes, I was there that day, Mike, and Alan gave a good exhibition of what he's very strong at, which is corner bowling.
That's right.
And Jimmy just couldn't match him. Jimmy got a low score, and we lost the match by a very low score, 3 shots. But
right.
And Jim, as always, is trying to blame himself, but there's 24 bowlers in a team.
That's right, yes, certainly. Now, it looks as though John Hudson might fire here. Very, very difficult, though, where that bowl is.
His own
against
short
the jack.
woods covered it, I would have thought.
Yes.
He might try a fast round peg at it, Mike, rather than go thumb.
He's indicated he's going to fire. But the way that bowl is in the dip, very, very difficult. Just gone through. So Rowley Pratt leads 16-13. He's 3 shots ahead again. It's now Hudson who's stuck on the dreaded 13.
Just leaving that while Rowley walks round and John to get the next mark. The player you were just talking about, Mike, Jimmy Campbell, he's having a nice game at the moment. He's 9-1 up with 2 on.
Yes, but the reason for that is I saw him before the game collecting £5 off each player for the sweep. Now he's a Scotsman, so therefore...
I wouldn't have none of that, Mike. I'm a Scotsman. You couldn't have met more two generous people in the county.
Oh, I see. All right then. And he just scored another two, as Jimmy Campbell, as you were speaking.
In his terms, he's just scoosed it me.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Now, of course, back to Rowley Pratt. 16-13 he leads.
He's having another go at this green mark, this mark up here.
He wanted to gather the jack
go.
there. He's pulled away again. Good shot there of John Hudson delivering. He doesn't like this. He thinks it's way off, as indicated by his hand signal.
He's not even got the weight.
And he was right.
The ball is all across these ridges, Mike. They've got to get it dead on. He's narrow. He's going to come away.
And Rowley was urging on that ball, but it hasn't done him any good. One thing that is worth mentioning about these two players, Bob, and I know it's something we've discussed before, both smart in appearance.
Oh, yes.
Grey flannels, white shirt, none of this, some of this dress that you see nowadays in the game, which spoils it. So that's important, both players dressed as they should be.
That's what we aim for all the time. If every team and every county senior and junior adopted the white shirt, grey flannels. But as we see there, Mike, Rowley signalled one down, so John is corrected by a milestone.
He's fetched the other one in from the other end of the sheep pen. He has the jack again. He's gone off the dreaded 13. 16-14 now to Rowley Pratt. Fairly long game this. This indicates perhaps the difficulty of getting twos on this green, Bob, which is something that I think people were indicating beforehand.
Well, it is a difficult green. It's the team themselves, when they started, I'm talking about the Bedworth club themselves, they've gradually hauled themselves up into the Premier Division now, which gives the opportunity for the best players now to play on this green, and they're all gradually coming to grips with it, but it's still a marvellous home green.
And there you see a view of this Bedworth green. A good crowd, excellent conditions, all enjoying the bowling. And there's John Hudson, a wry smile.
Yes, he is. I think he might be. He is a little disappointed with his own performance, because he can bowl better than what we've seen today, without a doubt. But there you are. The green's there to be bowled. It's a hard green, and
that's a perfect shot, demonstrating how the jack is curling away, in layman's terms, from the players. Very, very difficult. Here again, a good delivery by Hudson. Now he's 17 across. It's important this end. This is a psychological advantage. If either player can score two here, it really puts them in the driving seat, Bob.
He looks a bit heavy. He's going sailing on, isn't he?
Yes, he wanted one short of the jack there, if possible. Determined there, Rowley Pratt. He knows he wants this ball within a foot of that jack.
He's
put
coming
Hudson
down a
under
bit
pressure.
quick.
Going past the jack now, gone out. It's shot, but it's not a good ball. It's beatable. Watch the style here, the bowl up to the head. Perfect delivery. Those bowls weigh an average of about £2.12. And probably bowl with those for a number of years, John Hudson. He'll know exactly what they will do.
Looks like he's got the winner here, Mike.
Yes, this is a good ball. Now Rowley's got to find one here. He'd go behind at a crucial stage in this game. He's concentrating very hard. He's going to strike.
This is a rare sight. Rarer still if he hits.
This can be a memorable bowl. Bumpy start, but this bowl now down the green. Does it connect? No, you were right, Bob. It doesn't.
No.
So it's 18-17 now to John Hudson.
It's always the crowd who has to dodge when Rowley fires.
That's any chance of a drink off him gone after the match. 18, 17, 21, the objective. Notice a youngster in the background there, Bob. It's surprising how many youngsters come and watch this game now, and I know you're encouraging that in the North Midlands, like most counties.
Yeah, we have a good crowd of young lads follow the game. They all become experts once they start, but it's nice to see them round. Come and watch these recognised top bowlers performing on one of the most difficult greens that they'll bowl. As the North Lancashire Vales official said, where the hell did you dig this up from?
But one interesting thing about this green is that I understand from one of the officials here that the ladies have used this green and they've achieved the biggest win at county level they've ever done.
Yes, the ladies are unbeaten on this green. They absolutely lap it up. And of course, we're hoping to follow suit.
Correct. Now this is an important ball for Rowley. Hudson's give him a chance to get in here. He's turned the ball over here, coming in the other way.
He's short himself.
He's done it again every time over that side of the green, Bob.
He doesn't seem to be able to get the weight today, and usually it's one of his strong points is the weight bowling. Let's see if John can improve. He's stopped on the top of the hill, so he's aiming to get past that and up the hill. He's going up. What speed he's going at.
That's helped him, although it's...
Or it's whipped him
pulled
away.
him off
He's
to the
gone
side.
right over.
That's right. Now
Now
all
surely he should score here. If he's not already on for one.
Yes, it'd be crucial if he could get another one and get two here and put it within two of victory.
This is the best wood of the end.
Well, that's certainly one.
Conceded two, Mike.
Conceded two, so Rowley Pratt leads 19-16. Correction, 19-18. My apologies. A good game all round this. Very close. Both players looking for a good start for their side. Rowley Pratt knows a good ball here will really put Hudson under pressure. Coming down towards the jack. Will it stop, Bob?
Oh, I don't know. It looks a bit quick to me.
Could stop if it touches the jack.
Touch the jack.
Gone
no,
off.
It's gone. It's a tremendous corner to bowl, this is.
Now Hudson certainly will want to keep his bowl on the green.
Well, even if he leaves it 10 yards short, he wants to keep it on. Force Rowland to pass it. Oh, he looks wide over here. If he's got any pace, he'll slide down here.
I think
he's going to stop on, Mike.
Major stop, very difficult.
Oh, absolute fraction it stopped on.
Well, that now is an exceptionally good bowl, because if Rowley Pratt plays up and goes in the ditch again, it'll give Hudson two and within one shot of victory.
Well, he's better weight this time, Rowland is. Slightly narrower, but he's better weight.
All the crowd that end are holding their breath. They're all shouting, "Stop, Rowley."
Now it's pulled up short. John's on.
So he's nothing to lose here. Hudson, he can come in for two. Here he comes, the bowl over the top of this crown. All he wants is to pass that bowl of Rowley Pratt's to put him within one shot of victory.
He's got every chance, Mike. Looks a nice wood. Is he going to die?
Yes, just one to Hudson, so the score now is level again, 19 across. Couldn't be closer, Bob.
Nah, this looks like a 20-all last wood job.
Well, there's one thing about it, the spectators are having value for money with this game, aren't they?
Certainly.
those that have paid to come in. And I think it's important, Bob. I mean, yes, your county won to win the county championship, but there's a lot of finance involved. It's expensive to win this championship, although the first prize is worth winning.
The biggest expense in any county is the promoting of the county team. The bus, if they don't use a bus, they use cars, which is petrol. The staging of the event, teas. It's always a loss leader on all the counties. So yes, you are looking for a good crowd to offset part of the cost.
And that's a fair bowl by John Hudson there. Rowley under pressure now, calling on all his county experience.
It's a good jack, this, Mike, perched right on the top of the hill.
And he looks to be heavy to me. That could have gone out. And if it has, it gives Hudson the chance of clinching another one for victory. Watching this bowl going up the green now. Many of the North Midlands supporters here hoping it'll stop, and it has. So he's loosed Rowley Pratt off. Rowley will certainly want to improve on his first bowl. And he certainly won't want to run into the back of Hodson's. He's just missed it. Now he needs to stop, which he has, but he may have stopped short.
He's not up.
So Hodson scores another one. So it's 20-19 to the visitor. So this could be the last end. Hodson wants 1. Pratt wants 2. Concentration important. Taking his time, Hodson. He knows the value of placing this jack exactly where he wants it and making sure that that bowl finishes close as possible. Look how intently Pratt is watching the delivery of that jack. Perfect picture there, 2 players within sight of victory. There's the bowl now, going towards the jack.
He's bowled a fairly short mark here. He's just trying to lead a cracking wood on a shorter mark.
There's two ends together there, but the bowl that's just run out is the one that we're concentrating on. Rowley got a chance here. He's watching that bowl. His head's going. He knows that possibly this is his last chance to get in.
Looks a bit quick, Mike.
Ended up as a good bowl.
Ended up a cracker.
That could level the scores.
Only about 9 inches through.
Now Hodson won't want to be far away. He won't want to give the opportunity of Pratt to get the 2 that he requires.
He's playing overweight at it, Mike, trying to
push the jack through.
Just slide by.
Now, Pratt won't have a better chance than this to win another county game to add to his marvellous career. Doesn't want it on the jack, just wants it short enough to count. Remember, he wants 2, Hodson 1.
Nice pace, Mike.
And Rowley Pratt scores the 2, a very good 2 the last end, so he wins his game 21-20. Very close that, Bob.
Very, very close. We were hoping for a few more, but every win counts. Another 1 shot to the total.
While we've been speaking, Stuart Harry has lost his game to David Fairlass, 21-19. Right, the game now going on the green should be one of tremendous interest in this inter-county championship match, because it features delivering the jack, David Holt. Now, David Holt is one of those rare breed of bowlers who play both level and crown green bowls, and in his case, exceptionally well. He is a current England international at level green bowls, and also 2 years ago was successful in winning the 1991 Yorkshire Bank Crown King competition at the Waterloo Hotel at Blackpool. He is a very astute bowler at both codes. But it's significant. On the very first end, he wants to keep the game simple, obviously, and his opponent, Steve Jones, has challenged the mark, which, as I indicated beforehand, must be 19 metres or more. Now this is important, Bob, because if it's not a mark, then immediately Steve Jones will have the jack.
Oh yeah, it's fatal not to bowl at your first end, because now you're going to be facing a mark that you hopefully know nothing about, or Steve hopes he knows nothing about.
And of course, I've just talked a little bit about David Holt. It should be said that Steve Jones won the North Midlands Merit on this particular green in 1990, so this should be as equally a close encounter as the game we've just been covering between Roland Pratt and John Hudson. How do you see this one going, Bob?
Well, I've not seen too much of Holt bowl, but Steve, he's played most of his county games away. He doesn't get that much opportunity to play at home. But we brought him back, very confident young man, plenty of bounce in him. He won't be bothered at all about the reputation of Holt. But as you say, Holt's got this ability to bowl international level at flat bowls and top level at Crown, though I doubt if he's bowled anything like this.
Now, here we go. The officials are measuring for the mark. David Holt will be holding his breath. My view would be probably isn't a mark, but very difficult from this distance.
I would perhaps think it's...
Now, Jack's come back.
The easy way to judge a mark is anybody that's played cricket, it's the distance between the two wickets
that's right,
represents the mark.
Now, of course, exactly what we were talking about, Bob, is the fact now that Steve Jones, he has the jack, so he can start thinking about selecting a mark that perhaps he knows on this green. Steve is a 28-year-old senior process manager at Hills Precision Engineering in Coventry, and he'll want to deliver some precise bowls this afternoon. In fact, he probably will have to, against a calibre of a gentleman who is waiting, incidentally, David Holt, to hear whether he's selected for the Commonwealth Games team at level green, Bob, which is a tremendous achievement by any player.
Oh, it's tremendous, isn't it? I mean, you got young Nick in our side doing very well at the flat game. But mind you, it's the old saying with all crown green bowlers, the crown green can play the flat, but the flat can't play the crown green.
That's right. One interesting point here, of course, is that he'll be using bowls this afternoon which weigh about £2.12, whereas in the level green game they will be £3.5, he tells me. So there's a tremendous difference.
There is, but bear in mind the farthest mark they can bowl on the flat is about 35 yards, isn't it, Mike?
That's right.
But it's a different tactical game with their game, and it's nothing like bowling round pegs. It's all tactics, and to combine the code takes a lot of doing, so the man must have bags of ability.
And of course, not only that, like Peter Varney, your side, who's involved with bowls, David Holt manages the indoor bowl centre at Blackpool.
Oh well, he's got time for plenty of practice.
Very important, this first end, for the young North Midlands player, and he's taken advantage of that.
He scored
in fact,
one.
He scored one.
Could I just come in there, Mike? The gentleman we brought in, Jimmy Campbell, has just had a marvellous win, 21-9.
Drinks are on Jim then tonight. Do you
Certainly.
think double whiskies?
Oh, Whiskey Max.
Whiskey Max. 21-9. So bad luck, though, for the Scotsman at the moment. He doesn't win the full kitty because Jack Robertson's beating 21-8. Shame that.
Oh, it is a shame. There's 5 more trying to beat Jack.
But nevertheless, joking apart, an excellent result again for the North Midlands.
Yes, very good. It's one of those things perhaps the selectors like, Mike, where they make an alteration and it comes off right with a 21-9 win.
Now, Steve Jones, Bob, comes from the Walsgrave Club. How alike this green is the Walsgrave green? I don't know it.
It's a lot smaller than this. It's I think it's about 40x40. It's about...
It's a fair bowl there by David Holt. In fact, it's an excellent bowl by David Holt. Steve Jones, as you say, Bob, you brought back in last time and he had an excellent away win, 21-11, so he'll be confident, he'll be boosted by that.
Yes, we brought him back onto this green because he seems to be always very confident on this green. He's had some good results on it. And you've got to have bowlers who feel confident on these types of greens.
And of course David Holt, he has only played one county match this year due to his level green commitments, but what a match that was, because he beat Robertson 21-8.
Very good.
And so therefore David Holt scored 1, so the score stands at 1 each after 2 ends. David Holt, incidentally, plays for the Parkfield club, where the match in North Lancashire and Fylde is being played. He's aged 26. About 3 months ago, he was in South Africa as a member of the England level green team, and in that competition out there they played, he won the English pairs and singles.
He'll get them.
And whilst we were looking at this end, the first results have come from the away leg, Bob, and there you're 12 adrift. You're in front here by 15, so at the moment nothing in it.
No, nothing in it. Let's just hope the away team can keep holding them very, very tight. Just one result there is a little bit dampener for us, is Bob Gilfillan getting 9. He's one of our most experienced bowlers.
Well, let's hope his Walsgrave clubmate here in the game that we're concentrating on can pull that back for you.
Yes.
Now, it's interesting here. This is what I thought David Holt would try and do. He's going to bowl these simple marks. I remember seeing this man play Paul Gamsby in the final of the Crown King, and I was really, really taken aback with how this man used the green. And I think that if Jones can beat him, it will be a tremendous performance, because I certainly rate this player. I think he's a tremendous bowler at both games. And it is unfortunate, I know, the North Lancashire and Fylde officials would hope that he could play every game, but unfortunately he can't. But nevertheless, so far, Steve Jones has started well. He's confident. Remember, this is game number 8, 12 in all. Score stands at the moment, David Holt 3, Steve Jones 1.
He's bowled narrow here, Mike. He's going by.
That's right, he has.
He's not up, really. Steve should get 2 here, Mike.
Yes, a different completely land here. Yes, that
he's left it a bit
looks as if it may be short. Debatable whether that's got up, but it has. So Stephen Jones scores 2. There are the markers at the background in the picture there. Both sitting together. That's very important. We can't afford any mistakes in the semi-final, Bob.
No, both scorers are sitting there with the score in between. Cards have to be checked every 3 ends.
He's played about 20 times for the county, Bob, so there's a fair amount of experience there for young Jones.
Yes, he was brought in a few years ago now as a very young chap. He didn't bowl junior county because it wasn't at the age group when he was 18. There was no junior county going, but he bowled in the now defunct Ryder Cup, that challenge match we used to have with your county,
that's right, yeah.
Warwick and Worcester.
That's a fair bowl there by Jones. although it's running away, I must admit, well away from the jack, further than I initially thought. Concentration important, a nice delivery, raising the back leg, incidentally, David Holt, which is perhaps something from the level green game.
That's the Bryant technique, isn't it?
That's right, it is.
He's not going to... He's still trickling, it's still coming down. Now it gathers pace because it's got into that bit of a dip, Mike.
That's right.
He's actually bowled.
Not a bad bowler.
His jack line is level with the jack, about 2 yards this way of it to the right of the bowlers.
Now, of course, what's crucial, Bob, in the middle four at both venues is a single-figure card. We hope it's going to be to the North Midlands, obviously, but it'll really start putting the pressure on when the next scores come through. If there's been a single-figure card against all four.
Well, Steve had all but won that, but it's gone about 2 rolls, and I think it's rolled out.
Mind you, of course, what we're also forgetting is that, yes, it was 15 after 4 ends, but since then, of course, the Whiz Kid Campbell's come off with a 21-9, so that has to be a further plus for you. That wasn't included in the 15 difference after 4 ends.
No, he'll be very pleased with that performance.
He's going around at the moment, I think, signing autographs, so... Nothing in this game yet. 4-2 to David Holt.
He's trying to find a piece perhaps that's like the flat green, but he's going to find one on here.
No. I was speaking to David beforehand, and he said he didn't think that there was much room on here to use his flat green experience. All that's a very good bowl there.
Well, that's quite a good bowl there, Mike. They've just started to come down the dip. You need perfect weight on this mark.
And this is not so far away, although it probably run through now as it gathers speed.
It's going to run out.
Gone out. There's one thing I think that Jones can't afford to do is let this man get the initiative. Because like most top players, he will keep improving all the time. And this bowl demonstrates exactly what I've just said.
Smashing wood.
He's improved on his first bowl. He's lying 2. But this looks a fairly weighted bowl, if it'll run, Bob.
He's got to get over this hill. He's got a chance.
Got to stop now.
He's got to stop, but I think it's going to.
Yes, that's a good bowl.
Smashing wood.
Yes. A precise bowl by the young process manager at a precision engineering company in Coventry. Won various local merits, Bob.
Yeah, he's won the league merits of the Wednesday, the Saturday leagues, the Thursday leagues. He's always one of the bowlers that seems to appear in the finals.
And again, a bowler wearing glasses. Now, I wear glasses, and I find, to some extent, that has disadvantages. Not perhaps so bad this afternoon because there's no rain, but on a big green like this, can have some disadvantage, particularly when you bowl in the corners.
Well, it's one of his stronger plays. He likes to bowl these corners.
We've certainly chosen the corner here, a heavy corner.
Well, you're seeing there, the wood's just simply come back, and it's still coming back because from about 5 yards out, the green rises. It must be nearly 10 inches.
Because probably one of the reasons that he's done this, it may be that somebody said to him, well, look, you're playing a level green player. He'll have been playing the short marks, as you described earlier, indoors, but he probably hasn't realised that this man has won and plays the Waterloo as well as anybody. And when you play the Waterloo, well, you can play any large green.
Oh, well, he's not going to just simply be a 20-odd yard bowler. He's when you've gone as high as he has and done the Waterloo and all the top tournaments, he just has the ability to adapt to each game.
He's running this one up now, David Holt.
Yeah, some people would say you'd run anything up where that's going.
Difficult to see who's in that end.
Steve has already scored one. His second one went in the ditch, Mike.
So it's still one. Interested observer there in the background is Reg Harris, who was a former president of the British Crown Green Bowling Association, who of course administer these inter-county championships, which are sponsored by Bartel Cognac. Now we see Steve Jones there getting ready to bowl.
He's coming on this thumb mark, Mike, where they bisect the middle of the green. Very hard this mark is. You've got to get the weight and line perfect on this.
Reminder of the score, 4 across.
Weight more than anything on these marks, Mike.
This ball is gathering speed.
He's a little bit quick.
Just past the jack there.
I don't know where the referee is, but there's another jack right in the way.
And it's important that the referees keep up with the play. And as Bob quite rightly says, there would appear to be another end here also creating problems. David Holt appears to be well through with this ball.
He's coming through.
Unless he touches the jack.
He did.
That may have stopped him.
That's not going to save him, Mike.
No, it's gone out.
It's gone out.
Because this must be a distance of something like 65, 70 metres, Bob.
Well, these corners are well over 70, so they must be bowling nearly 70 yards on this mark.
Seems to have corrected it this time, Jones, with the referee in attendance.
He's got a lovely line, but he's quick again. I don't think it's going to count.
Unless it rests on that ball.
Well.
No, it's gone out. It's still one, though, to Steve Jones. Confusion here because David Holt is obviously going to have to wait until the other end has been played.
There's another end in the way, isn't there, Mike?
Still having to wait here because of the other end. Significant on that shot, Bob, a number of ladies watching the game, and there are more and more ladies playing the game now.
More and more, yes. This club's got a very strong ladies section here, but there's a lot of the ladies county team come here today to shout us on, give us their support.
Well, perhaps they've come to say, well, we won our game. Look at this. Very critical, these ladies, you know, in Crown Green bowls. Some people would say they ought to be at home doing the cooking, the washing and the... I didn't say that, but... No, there are some very good Crown Green lady bowlers and, you know, many of them in this county, incidentally.
Well, David's coming down, Mike. He's a little quick. I don't know whether he's going to stop.
Could it rest on this
if
back
it rests,
ball?
It could. No.
Just gone out again.
Oh.
Yes, that'll be one, I think, to Steve Jones. He's looking, but he may call for the measures. But from where we are sitting, it looks only one. Oh, he's signalled two. Well, that's rather surprising. Still, David Holt will no doubt... No, he's kicked them in. Yes, Steve Jones, 2 to him. So he now takes a 6-4 lead.
Yes, he's going for these long marks. He won't be worried about that end in the top, Mike. He'll go through it.
Yes, definitely. And there's no reason for him to have the jack back here because the other end that he's bowled towards is nearly finished. He knows David Holt has shown some weakness on the 2 ends that he's bowled in the corners, and he's got a fair bowl here, the lad has. That's a good ball.
It's a good lead,
It's obvious that if Holt can get in, he's going to shorten this mark.
He shortened his wood.
And that's right, he has on this occasion. That just indicates how difficult these corners are, Bob.
Oh, they are difficult. Plus the length. I mean, they're bowling nearly 70 yards, Mike.
He's running this up now. Look at keenness of this youngster. He wants to win this one. He may be an England international at level green, says Steve Jones, but he's got to deal with
yeah,
me this afternoon.
He knows all about the opponent he's playing, and that really G him up. David thinks he's got a chance here.
Just gone out.
I think he's gone out the back.
Two more to Steve Jones.
Yes.
8-4.
He'll keep playing these long marks now.
Was you never? Oh, he's taking his jacket off now, Bob. Now you know this is it. He's got the England international removing his jersey, his jacket. Yes, now he's keeping this long mark slightly.
He's changed the mark.
Changed the land.
Mike?
Yes,
yeah,
he
he's changed the land. I thought he would have come down into the same corner again.
He indicates that probably this bowl is a little bit heavy.
He's got good weight, Mark.
You see the bowl coming into the jack now. It's a good bowl. Yes. Yeah, he seemed as though he thought it might be a shade heavy.
No, he's actually finished about a yard short.
That's right. David Holt realises now he's got to get hold of this jack pretty quick.
Well, he's coming down quicker than Steve. He's got a good wood here. Can it stop?
Still going.
Still going. Still going. Still going.
Gone out.
It's gone out.
Yeah. Steve Jones counting one at the moment. He'll be looking for another two here. This could be an unexpected bonus, and this is not being disrespectful to Steve Jones, because I think North Lancashire and Fylde had counted on Holt getting a good performance in this middle four, but at the moment he's struggling.
Is it going to stop? Is it going to trickle off the green?
Yes, well, it's gone out at the back anyway, so...
Oh, from a winner to one off the green.
That's right. Looks like David Holt is asking who's shot there, but... looks like Pat Murphy in the background, the president of this club, Bob.
Pat, yes, that's one of the stalwarts.
This club worked very hard
on
behalf of your association this afternoon. And credit to them, the facilities here, which are important. Now, can David Holt get in this end? All eyes on this ball.
Got lovely line. Is he going to get by? Oh, yes.
Yes, just got by. That's an important ball.
Wood.
Signals that one. 8-5 to Steve Jones. And of course, David Holt will certainly shorten this mark. Maybe straight up the edge of the green here. Nice view there of a delivery by a very, very experienced player, but only 26 years of age, David Holt from the Parkfield Club. There we are. There's the bowl now. Arcing round towards the jack. This bias jack, and that's a fair bowl. Want to pass that, Steve Jones. Urged on by his supporters here from the Walsgrave Club. He just pulls short. Of course, David Holt will hope that he can get the feel of the jack for a couple of ends. Yes, there to two now to David Holt to put him back in this game. Steve Jones asking if it's two. Two greens here, incidentally, at the Bedworth Club. This one the bigger of the two. Steve Jones certainly wants to try and save one here. He knows he's in the driving seat at the moment. He's well out at the back. So that's an important two there for David Holt. 8-7 now to Steve Jones. Now he'll continue to bowl the short marks, David Holt. Remember, a mark 19 metres or more. Blackjacks in crown green bowls, unlike level green bowls where David Holt will have been used to the white jack. just through there. He want that ball in front. It's gone a long way. He was disappointed with that, David Holt. He'd just begun to get back into the game. Steve Jones should beat that ball. But he's done likewise. In fact, that's a shocking ball there from Steve Jones. And I just wonder at this moment in time if Holt has found Jones' weakness. And certainly he is a good corrector of the ball, which is essential in this game, David Holt, and he's done so there. He's line 2. If he scores those 2, he'll take the lead for virtually the first time in this game. And Steve Jones looks to be going again. He could go out the back and leave Holt the 2 that he's looking for, and he has. That's 2 to David Holt. Bob, since David Holt has taken his jacket off, he hasn't lost an end.
No.
We'll have to remember
Perhaps,
that, I think.
Oh, well, perhaps he thought he was just warming up.
So he leads at the moment now, 9-8. No need for David Holt to do anything more than he's doing at the moment. Keep it simple. He thinks, I've probably had the jack in my hands now for the last 3 ends. If I can get another 2 here, my opponent will start to get a little bit worried. A shake of the head there by David Holt. He's not very satisfied with that ball. Mind you, he won't be the first player this afternoon not to be satisfied with a ball.
There's quite a few. There's still some more to come.
Oh, that's a good ball
Good
by
shot.
Jones. An excellent ball there. Now, David Holt won't be short, I can guarantee that. Because one of the problems, though, is, Bob, if he misses, he'll go a long way.
Well, I find with the top players, they don't mind missing. They'll be through, and that's it.
Yes, and that's exactly what he's done. But he's given the opportunity, once again, to Jones to seize the initiative in this game. Pendulum keeps swinging from one player to the other, keeping the spectators on their toes. And that's another good ball from Jones.
2 lovely woods.
10-9, he leads.
Yes, Dave. Here we go, Dave.
Because I think, in fairness, Bob, one of the things about the North Midlands county side this year, and we've remarked about it before, are the number of young players that you've got. Some counties, my own for example, we seem to be lacking at the moment in young players coming through. You seem to have those.
Well, we have quite a few of them. Some of them, as you say, we keep bringing into the county team, but you have to try and get the blend like any sport. You try and bring the youngsters in while the senior players are still not slipped, what should we say, Mike, over the hill. But
And you brought young Jimmy Campbell in this afternoon.
he'll like that remark, Mike.
I think what is important, Bob, that we can be serious in this game, but humour's also important in Crown Green Bowls.
Oh, blimey. It's one of the biggest Mickey-taking games I've ever played.
Now, this is interesting because I don't think that David Holt has been into that corner before, and immediately Jones has put him under pressure with an exceptionally good bowl. And he's not so far away with this one either.
There's a big lip up there, Mike. They try and get it to
it's just
swing
stopped on
round
the
to
top,
it, but it's
yes.
stopped at the top. Another yard of weight and he'd have gone right round to it.
Well, this certainly has got to stop, hasn't it, Bob?
He looks low to me. Oh, no, he takes because he's going over that. He falls off that bank onto the top one and come round, but he's...
And that's 2.
2.
So, the score stands now 12-9 to Steve Jones.
I'm just glancing over to one of the other scores, Mike. Pete Varney's having a very good game.
Yes, this lad,
Very strong.
this lad Richard Hoyles is a clubmate of David Holt's, and I know the North Midlands were a little bit concerned when, having put this player in who hasn't played before this year against Peter Varney, but nevertheless, give the lad his due. He's playing away against the Midlands top player on a green which you say is in Peter Varney's back garden virtually, and he's doing well.
Doing very well, isn't he? 17-16.
Of course, a reminder for those not familiar with the game that unlike certainly the Parks Association in Crown Green Bowling, in the British Crown Green Bowling Association, players belonging to the club where the match is being played are not allowed to play. That's unlike Parks players where they can. Because this is similar to the match, similar to the game that we covered earlier, Bob. Not much between the two players, and I think most of the games so far, apart from perhaps Campbell and Robertson, have been close encounters, and that was probably to be expected this afternoon.
Well, we are playing the semi-final. We don't expect to find a great vast difference in the ability of these players. They've all reached here, so obviously they must be the 4 best teams in the group, Mike. So
quite correct.
We're expecting fairly close games.
Carrying the mat gets very heavy after a time, but it's a lot smaller than the one in the level green game, Bob.
Oh, well, they don't carry that, do they?
No.
They have 2.
Now, each player here thinks that he's on. Both of them want the measures, as indicated.
I bet you David will remember his visit to this green. Perhaps you'll go and have a word with Arthur Land.
Yes,
Mike.
he might.
Did you pick that up in our trade paper?
What was that?
Where he commented that why shouldn't a Crown Green bowler qualify for the All England on his own green? He says the flat people do.
That's right. Yes, yeah. Well, I understand. I mean, that's one of the controversies at the moment, the All England Championships, which are going to be played on Saturday, where the Lancashire winner of their county merit, because he won through on his own green, has been disqualified. That's an accepted practice and has been in Lancashire for many, many years. But it's unlike the level green game, as you say, Bob, because in the level green game you can qualify on your own green, as I understand, to the national championships and even become world champion.
Well, that's where we differ. They try to make their green as flat, as perfect as possible. We go for the bigger hill, the bigger crown, and bowl, make it harder to bowl.
I think, though, in fairness all the way around, I mean, people talk about one game being better than the other. I think what is significant, they are entirely different games.
Certainly. It's all more tactics
That's
in
right.
the flat green. As regards building a hedge, you bowl more woods, so therefore you have more wicks, collisions, glides, in-off woods. They can play all them shots because they've got that many woods.
I don't know about you, Bob, but in my game at Crown Green Bowls, my 4 yards short, I put some tactical bowls up, you know, if I was playing level green bowls. Now, when we're talking now, the Steve Jones has now moved on to 13. 13-9 he leads David Holt. David looks to be through a bit here.
Yeah, he's gone well through.
He's shaking his head, is David Holt. And
See, 2/3 of this green is uphill, Mike. Now he's getting over it, and then you've got to glide round to it. Steve will be quite happy.
David Holt again has got to run down the hill here. He's gone into his own ball. That's
He's
another
well
one.
short, one to Steve.
Another one to Steve. So Steve Jones, there he is. He's confident at the moment. There's his score behind him. Look, 14-9. Game number 8 on the green. We're nearly 2/3 of the way through. Waiting in the other semi-final, incidentally, are either South Yorkshire or Yorkshire. And of course, if North Midlands get through, you've got a score to settle with Yorkshire, Bob.
Oh, we certainly have. They've done us, what, 2-3 years ago, wasn't it, Mike?
Yes, on your green.
On the Dunlop green, yes.
I think, in all fairness, I think that match, many of the pundits would say, was perhaps one that would favour Yorkshire, and this one certainly would be much closer, and those are the indications at the moment.
There is one thing I hear, Mike, that Robinson and Hitchin isn't available for, well, their 2 top bowlers aren't bowling for Yorkshire today.
Yes, but I think it's true to say that Yorkshire, being one of the strongest counties, that probably means that they've got two others that they can bring in,
Certainly,
which would get into anybody's county team down in this part of the world without being disrespectful to anyone. But it is a loss, because I rate Robertson as one of the best players in the game, and certainly at county level he has a tremendous record. Now it looks as though Steve Jones has possibly thrown the jack off here. It's difficult to see where the jack has gone from this angle. While we're talking about this game, Bob, in the background there is your daughter, who's just been bowling very successful and finished as runner-up in a big competition in Wolverhampton.
Oh, don't you start, Mike. I have enough listening to it.
Yes, but she's paying me the money, you see, to mention her, so therefore I've got to mention her if I could.
Yeah, she's having a good season. She played her county game on here and won about 21-8, so she'll be trying to tell somebody how to bowl it.
It's a wonder she isn't in the commentary box with us telling us how to do it.
I have enough of her its own, Mike.
You could probably hear that on the microphone. Peter Varney, 21-16, another winner for the North Midlands. So that's 2 wins in the middle 4 now, Campbell and Varney. This game here, David Holt has scored 1. So the score is Stephen Jones 14, David Holt 10. And Stephen Jones will be looking to become the North Midlands 3rd winner in the middle 4.
Is that mark all on weight again here, Mike? They've just come over the hill towards the
This is the one similar to what Rolly Pratt was bowling in his game with John
start
Hudson.
here. This is where you'll want perfect weight. If anything, he looks a bit quick to me.
It's a case of holding your
No,
breath.
he's holed up on the hill.
He's gathering
speed now, though.
Yes, I'm afraid.
Oh,
Just stopped.
Just stopped.
Well, that now has become a very good bowl, I would suggest, on that mark, Bob.
Yes. It's going to take some whacking. Anything within a couple of yards over here.
I don't think this will beat it.
Well, if he gets over Mike, it'll run well. But he could pull away to the bowler's left if he hasn't quite got the weight. Oh, it's pegging,
rolling
it's turning
towards,
in now.
Going always.
Well,
my apologies to Steve Jones. I must admit, I thought that bowl was well short.
that's one of the woods they call a snake, Mike.
That's right, yeah. Now this looks a fair pace, but I think he may
he's too
have to
quick.
stop.
He's got to hit something. He won't get that bend back to the jack, Mike, like Steve did.
So Steve Jones looking for 2 here to put him 6 in the lead. Yes, this looks again a fair place.
He's quicker than his first.
Waving it off. Oh dear, I don't know he's waving it off or waving it on. 1 there to Steve Jones, 15-10.
He'll be happy with the ones.
Standing behind David Holt there is Steve Ellis, captain of North Lancashire and Fylde. He must be slightly worried. This is one player they will be counting on, as I said earlier, for a good card here. But all credit to Steve Jones. He stuck to the task. He believes he's heavy with this ball. We shall see as the camera pulls out. Just gone past.
He's actually stayed jack high.
Yes, it looks as if he has.
He's just gone down the hill. He's level with the jack with the weight if he can adjust his line.
Steve Jones holding his arms, doesn't know what this ball's going to do. He's just hoping and praying.
No, it's gone out. It's going down with his other one. I can't
gone
see, Mike,
through.
whether
He looks disappointed there.
David's pulled up short, but whether he's holding shot wood, he's asking.
Yes. He'll get the answer quickly from Stephen, I would imagine. He looks as if Stephen's indicating he's on. We'll soon know when this one goes up.
He looks short. He's miles short, Mike.
Oh, disappointed with that, David Holt. Unusual for him to be short. It looks like he's conceded the one to Stephen Jones. Yes, he's going these long lengths again, Stephen Jones. Nothing to fear. He knows Holt is certainly worried at the moment and under pressure. There goes 2 here. He'd be within 3 shots of victory. Collided with another hand, unfortunately, that bowl. So the other end is replaced. The bowl returned by referee Gordon Dutton. And of course, if Steve Jones wants to, he can have the jack back, which he's chosen to do, because obviously his concentration will have been affected by that clash in the middle of the green. So he's setting the mark in the same area. It'd be marvellous if he could run out now, Bob.
Wouldn't half do his ego and ours the world.
Yes. And he hasn't got a bad bowl here, I don't think.
It's not too bad at all, is it?
Oh, that's one of the best bowls this afternoon.
Beautiful.
Well, David Holt certainly won't want to be short. He's just on the bottom side.
He's playing through at it, isn't he? He's gone through.
Wonderful chance here now for Steve Jones to get another one. Put him 18-10 in the lead. He doesn't seem to be far away again, Bob.
No, he's going to pull up a little bit short, but he'll be quite happy. He's line 2.
In fact, that may be...
Maybe on the line, maybe stopping him play the forcing shot, the wood and the jack. No, he's bowling it.
Well, this is up. If it misses all, it's the 2 that Steve Jones wants to take him within 3 shots of victory.
Way low,
he's gone way low.
Oh,
2 to Steve Jones. 18-10, he leads. Yes, if he could run out 21-10, what a confidence booster for the last 4 going on the green, Bob.
Marvellous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's just hope our away lads are holding them tight up there.
Yes, and we shall shortly know the scores coming in from the away leg at Parkfield. And the players representing North Midlands there are Sean Morris, Alan Gilfillan, Steve Berry and Phil Perry. Alan Gilfillan, of course, his father lost 21-9, so he'll be out to put that right, and he's also a club mate of Steve Jones. This ball from Steve Jones now. And that's not a bad ball, Bob.
No, he's only about a yard and a half beyond, but it's still trickling. No, it's stopped now. About a yard and a half
I think it's
behind.
true to say that these 2 players seem to have found the green better than our first 2, Rowley, Pratt and John.
Yes, they seem to have got a better grasp of the weight of it, haven't they?
But of course, in fairness, let's be quite honest, they've been standing around the green watching the first 4 games, so they will have perhaps picked up a few tips from that. That appears to have gone out, so Steve Jones looks to be holding 1. Very important he gets this in, because 2 this end will put him within 1 shot of victory.
It's this last bit that counts, Mike. He's going up the bank now and round to it. It's whether he's got his
Wobbling
weight
away.
perfect. He looks a bit quick to me.
And he's stopping.
Oh, he's stopped right at the top
That's
of the
a good
bank.
bowl.
Now this could come down to it.
Breathing a sigh of relief when that one stopped there, Steve Jones. But this is an important end. Very important for the North Midlands youngster. Big crowd here watching this bowl. They know how important it is. And North Lancashire officials are also, and David Holt, look, he's tense, very tense. He needn't have worried. That's a magnificent bowl under pressure by the North Lancashire file player.
What a cracking bowl to pull out on that mark.
18-11 now. Yes, it was an exceptionally good bowl by David Holt. He hasn't played many of those this afternoon.
No, I think Steve was hoping to count those two.
He's thinking now, what do I do? And I think it's important in Crown Green bowls, as we all know, Bob, to lead well. But when you're on a green like this, I mean, it's even more difficult.
Well, he's only had half an hour's practice, hasn't he? I mean, he might even be bowling the mark now. He's not practiced. But I know he's going into that hole under the hill where normally this would be one that would suit him.
And that looks to be a fair ball. Yes,
if he's going to bowl an easy mark, I think this is perhaps one of them on this green. Now Steve's left his way short.
Now this is where concentration is important by the youngster. He's got this game within his grasp. Two good bowls there from David Holt. It might be a firing shot here by Steve Jones. Yes, it looks as if it is. Strike. There it goes. Connection or not? No, he hasn't. We said how difficult it was.
Yes, well, it must be difficult because you've just watched one of the best strikers in our county, that is.
Two more to David Holt. 18-13 now to Steve Jones. Crucially, doesn't let this slip, Bob.
Oh, I hope you don't let it slip.
Taking his time, David Holt. Keep these short marks now. Of course, collected many prizes in the game, David Holt, both at level and crown, but the one thing he hasn't got is a final award in the Inter-County Championship with North Lancashire and Fylde. And of course, also important, Bob, that the sponsors of this match, as they do in all of the games, Martel Cognac, are awarding a Man of the Match award today.
The two team managers, David and Eddie, from the respective camps, that they will decide the Man of the Match after the match is finished. Then we present them with a beautiful inscribed goblet, which is given as part of the sponsorship to all the county games that's being played today. Though there's only the two semi-finals, 4 games. There'll be 4 glasses presented to the Man of the Match. 2 glasses, sorry.
So what are the odds on, if Jimmy Campbell wins it, him filling the glasses then?
Well, it's big enough. It'll hold some nice whiskey, that will.
You must, Bob, be extremely pleased with the number of people that have turned up here at Bedworth this afternoon, because I think normally most of the matches that have been played by this county have been played previously in the Coventry, Nuneaton areas, and yet the people of Bedworth have come out and supported you.
Yes, we get very good support over, we say, the Bedworth, the Nuneaton crowd. They always come out in strength. As you know, we played our first county match not above half a mile away at the Newdigate Club, where we get tremendous support. Orngewood's the same. They do like their bowls over in Bedworth and Nuneaton.
So here we are, 18-14 now to Steve Jones.
Number 9, 15 across. Number 10, 2-3.
Strike. There it goes. Connection or not? No, he hasn't. We said how difficult it was.
Yes, well, it must be difficult because you've just watched one of the best strikers in our county, that is.
2 more to David Holt. 18-13 now to Steve Jones. Crucially, doesn't let this slip, Bob.
Oh, I hope you don't let it slip.
taking his time, David Holt. Keep these short marks now. Of course, collected many prizes in the game, David Holt, both at level and crown, but the one thing he hasn't got is a final award in the Inter-County Championship with North Lancashire and Fylde. And of course, also important, Bob, that the sponsors of this match, as they do in all of the games, Martel Cognac, are awarding a Man of the Match award today.
The two team managers, David and Eddie, from the respective camps, that they will decide the Man of the Match after the match is finished. Then we present them with a beautiful inscribed goblet, which is given as part of the sponsorship to all the county games that's being played today. Though there's only the two semi-finals, 4 games. There'll be 4 glasses presented to the Man of the Match. 2 glasses, sorry.
So what are the odds on, if Jimmy Campbell wins it, him filling the glasses then?
Well, it's big enough. It'll hold some nice whiskey, that will.
You must, Bob, be extremely pleased with the number of people that have turned up here at Bedworth this afternoon, because I think normally most of the matches that have been played by this county have been played previously in the Coventry, Nuneaton areas, and yet the people of Bedworth have come out and supported you.
Yes, we get very good support over, we say, the Bedworth, the Nuneaton crowd. They always come out in strength. As you know, we played our first county match not above half a mile away at the Newdigate Club, where we get tremendous support. Orngewood's the same. They do like their bowls over in Bedworth and Nuneaton.
So here we are, 18-14 now to Steve Jones.
Number 9, 15 across. Number 10, 2-3. Correction, game number 8 is 18-14.
This is going past the jack by
Yes,
David
it looks like
Holt.
he's going to join his first one.
And North Middle supporters urging Steve Jones to take advantage here.
One in the ditch and one just off it.
That's right. Steve wants this one to put him within 2 shots of victory. Two to Steve Jones, so just 1 required for a very, very good.
See, now, there's the difficulty of this mark. It's just been shown there. 2, and what was the nearest? Well, some of them were nearly 10 yards away, weren't they?
That's right. Yes.
And for 2 bowlers of this class, it just shows the difficulty of this green.
Now, essential here that Steve Jones gets a good first bowl. 2014 he leads. Concentration important. He's had the jack back. He is dissatisfied, obviously, or another end is interfering.
There's a wood gone up from the other end, hasn't there?
Start all over again. Take your time.
There's one thing, he'll love this atmosphere, Mark. Very bouncy character. He's going to have a go right up in this top corner now. He's going right up that hill.
Into the very, very heavy corner. The furthest point away from us at this moment.
They must be bowling over 60 yards at this one.
Here's the ball now coming into the jack. Needs one fairly adjacent here. And it's not that far away. Oh, this is a cracker. That's a good bowl, Bob.
Yes, he's only, what, is a yard short?
That's all. But we know from past experience in that corner that those have been counting earlier on. And David Holt will certainly know that, and he'll want to be up.
He looks short.
And he's short.
Oh, he's way short.
Keen for Jones now. This is the bowl.
He'd like this to go about a yard past and curl back to it.
He's certainly up with this. Doesn't want to hit that.
Oh,
he has done.
Oh, yes.
Well. And David looks to the sky. He knows that that was luck.
At this situation,
I mentioned concentration was
luck.
important. And that demonstrated to the full, because I think that the youngster there showed a lack of concentration, and he's very, very lucky on this occasion not to be 2 down. That could have cost him the game, Bob.
Well, it could. Oh, he will be disappointed with that, because he does know that corner. You can go yards wide of that and still get a reasonable wood.
And of course, a player of David Holt's experience is just the type of player to take advantage of that.
Certainly.
He'll know now that Jones is wooded. He knows he's made a mistake. There's a large crowd here, so he'll try and press on the advantage.
He's trying to bowl a straight one down the end of the green.
Jack's still trickling on. Absolutely amazing. Look at that.
And he sent his wood.
And he hasn't got a bad bowl here.
No,
urging it on.
It's coming down towards it.
Now he's asking it to stop. He was urging it on, then he was asking it to stop all at the same time. And there's another end, obviously, taking place. So it's essential the referee keeps abreast of the situation. This is an important ball for Steve Jones. And I think he's
trickling down. I don't know whether he's going to... No, he's
well short.
He's still going though, Mike. Look, still going.
And he is, yes, yes.
And he's coming down.
He is.
Oh, smashing wood he's bowled there.
Yes, and the referee has stopped the ball from the other end. And that could be the bowl that's needed. David Holt is going to strike. Now, level green players are normally very good strikers of the ball. He's dropped it now because obviously there is another end in the way. He's going to wait because this is important. If he misses, then he knows it's defeat.
This will be a good fire, Mike, because he's got a big bank on his left.
Mm-hmm. And he's looking at the land at the moment. Now, level green bowlers are normally very, very good strikers.
Well, they don't have a crown to consider, Mike, do they?
They don't, no.
They can rely on, if they get the line right, they're all right. On here, you've got to get, if it's on the mark they're on, he's got to get the land as well. Don't know how hard he fires, the wood's going to bend. Steve
Jones don't look, he's thinking to himself, well, you know, let's hope he misses. This is my chance. I made a mistake the last end. I've got a good bowl on at the moment. Let's hope the gods are with me this time. But still, when you've played in South Africa earlier on this year, like David Holt, this is secondary in comparison to that, I suppose, in one way. He's looking up at the end. He knows that this is important.
He looks like a golfer coming
worried.
down to survey the line.
He looks worried. In South Africa earlier on this year, like David Holt, this is secondary in comparison to that, I suppose, in one way. He's looking up at the end. He knows that this is important.
He looks like a golfer coming
worried.
down to survey the line.
He looks worried. It's almost, you know, getting down, looking at like the golfer does when he's
yeah, to put. That's what I remarked, Mike. Yeah, he's come down to try and see the contours that he's going to go over.
What must be going through Steve Jones' mind at the moment? He's having to wait.
He's hoping he misses this because it only means the error's going to cost him one shot.
That's right. There's another close game on the green at the moment in the middle four with Tom McDickin just one ahead of Gavin Parker, 17-16. Right. Here we go. We've waited a long time for this and the crowd.
Well, he's weighed the green up, Mike.
Notice the level green bowler's swing. Here he goes. Across the green. All important. He's got it.
Got the jack.
Got the jack. So therefore, in accordance with the rules, the jack is replaced 1 metre from the edge of the green. And the objective achieved by David Holt means that he will now set the mark again. That was a very good strike, Bob.
Very good indeed. He took first prize taking the jack off.
That's right. And again, pressure again now on Jones. He made a mistake the previous end. He's just seen a winning chance taken away from him. So
he's just seen a really good wood. Deprived him of that end with that excellent fire.
So if he comes out of this, all credit to him.
He's gone for a little straight one up the hill. That's how straight it is. It's pulling right away to the left. Now, can he put him under pressure again, Mike, with a good wood? Doesn't look too bad to me.
No, that's a good ball.
Oh, there's another good wood.
That's right. One of the many youngsters keen looking this afternoon at what's going to happen that end. Here it comes, David Holt now. Wanting to push that ball out or take the jack.
He's hit the jack, but
probably
I don't
done
know.
it again. Very difficult. Obviously Steve Jones is going to ask. David Holt indicates that he's on. So does he strike, Bob?
I don't think so. I think
he's going to have a look. He's going to have a look himself. He wants to make sure that David Holt's opinion is correct. And obviously a quick look indicates that it is.
I don't think he'll fall because he'll be frightened of taking his own wood out. We can't see how wide Steve is, but I would think he'll bowl it.
Yes, he is.
As long as he plays through a little bit. He's always got the goalkeeper of Martin's wood at the back.
Looks as if he's slightly off land.
He's off line unless it comes round to it.
Tried.
Well,
David Holt having a hard look. He's called for measures. He's not confident.
That isn't confidence, Mike.
So we've had everything at the end of this game, Bob. We've had a ball knocked in, a jack knocked off the green, and a measure which could really settle it.
Well, it's good theatre. The crowd enjoy it.
That's right. Waiting for the referee and the measurers to make their way round to that particular part of the green. There's Gordon Dutton. He's going to have a look. He'll have some opinion to himself, but he won't reflect that to anybody. And two measures are coming round now. Charlie Fox, stalwart in the North Midlands for many years from the Kenilworth Club. Always a smile, Charlie. Now this is crucial. Steve Jones is looking, thinking to himself, is this the one? Onto the other ball now. You'll soon see which player puts his hand up, and it's all over. Steve Jones has defeated David Holt 21-14. That is an excellent performance by Steve Jones. Right, and news that North Midlands have lost away by 27, so it all rests on this end, on the applause here for Joe Hines, who has won his game 21. Unfortunately, I can't see the scoreboard at the moment. 21-16. So that means that this moment in time, the North Midlands are 8 in front as the scores stand. Dave Rawlins is 16-14 down. And Brian Pearson is 20-16 up.
I think the pundits outside are telling us, Mike, that we want one shot.
Oh, there's a saying where I come from in the Black Country, it sends your belly funny. And that's certainly true on this occasion. And you, Mr. President, your belly must be more funny than anybody else's.
I'm only as excited as everybody else is round this green.
So just one shot needed by these two players. There's a hushly silence here at the Bedworth Club because they realise, like us, that how important that this is. A final place at stake. Dave Rawlins is looking at this end here. So Dave Rawlins singles one, and the cheers go up here. That would seem to be it. It's still got to be confirmed, but of course, Dave Rawlins will still keep plugging away. He wants victory.
The cars blocking the gate at the bottom of the green. Could you get to them, please? The cars blocking the gateway. The entrance to the green. Off the road.
Ian Holden, he'll keep plugging away, of course. Winner of 3 games this year. Both him and Rawlins will want to register a victory. Dave's looking at this, he thinks it's too heavy.
Oh, he's too heavy here, Mike. He's going to go sailing through.
And as I speak, Bob Hannigan has just received the congratulations here. Bob, wonderful feeling it must be.
Marvellous, marvellous.
And they've done it all without you in the team.
Well, I am a selector, but they seem to be all deaf when I put my name forward.
Mind you, as an outside observer, I've always held the view that it's the players on the green that win matches, but there are a lot of officials besides yourself working in the background, Bob.
Oh, marvellous, yeah. I mean, just take this club, for instance, the first county match they've put on, and God, they've worked hard and prepared us a nice green and all the facilities for us. And obviously now we're going to come back here again.
And the beer will taste even sweet here tonight.
Oh, the Whiskey Max might, Mike. I don't know about the beer. But I'm pleased for the players, I am. You know, they always seem as the North give us an inferiority complex down here. We are one of the smallest counties, but we've got a cracking team.
The spirit's right.
Definitely. We just like the icing on the cake and make it by more than 1.
Of course, the wait at the moment, because obviously Ian Holden wants to select a mark where the other game is taking place, and that game stands 2017 to Brian Pearson.
And he's 2 down, Mike. He's going for the wood, he's playing through.
Might be a check of the cards here, you know, Bob, if it's this close. I've known that happen before.
Well, it seems every time we play these, well, the first time, was it, Mike? 3 shots, wasn't it? Or was it
right.
A couple of years ago?
And this is revenge for that defeat last year.
Oh, well.
Because everybody's going to ask now, can you go all the way? Can you win it?
Can we find another good green?
Yes, that's true. For those who are unfamiliar with the game, it's certainly not my role to ask the president where the association may be thinking of taking their opponents in the final 2. He wouldn't tell me. I'm not going to ask him. But I can assure you that it'll have been well thought out with the likes of Dave Rawlins and Peter Varney and Bob Hannigan himself on the selection committee. They will have been thinking about the next one. And
what usually happens, Mike, we meet next Tuesday. Might take us 3 hours to pick the green and 5 minutes to pick the team.
Now Dave Rawlins was well short with that bowl. Ian Holden has clattered into the back of it.
Now, can David get through the gap, or is he going to... He's 2,
He's
so
2.
He can't fire at it.
No.
He's going to have to find another line to it.
The gentleman with the white Rolls Royce.
Smiles on his face, Dave. He knows now. I'm in the final again. And he had a cracking game in that final in 1991 with Roy Nicholson,
Yeah.
Bob.
I'm just laughing as a public announcement, Mike. Things are moving on. We've got a white Rolls Royce blocking the gate.
Somebody's celebrated already. It's not Reg Poynton's, is it? I mean, he smokes your cigars. He's not now buying a Rolls Royce.
No. He might have Rolls Royce money, but he's hanging on to it.
Reg, of course, a stalwart performer for this county for many years, and unfortunately, Bob, a player who's played many years, like Pratt, like Rawlins, who's never collected a winner's medal in the final.
No, it was one that he'd love to have collected.
Yeah. And further good news for the North Midlands is that Brian Pearson has won his game 21-19. And so the last game on the green is the one we're following at the moment. The scoreline may not matter in terms of the match, but it'll matter to these two players, and both of them will want to win, as I said earlier, particularly Dave Rawlins. 19-15, remember, to...
I think he's inside here.
Ian. So the North Lancashire and Fyle player, who, let's be fair, Bob, has played exceptionally well here.
He's played a good game, yeah.
In fact, I'd probably say he doesn't deserve to be on the losing side because he has bowled well.
He's got 2 fair woods on here, but I think David would fancy licking those in his...
And so this is the last bowl, maybe, of this encounter, unless Dave Rawlins can pull something out.
He's got better line this time. What's his weight?
Everybody says well bowled, David.
He bowled a cracker. Now let's see if he bowls that thumb mark down here again, Mike.
So at the moment, without this particular match that we're watching, North Midlands are 37 in front here at Bedworth. They've lost the away leg by 27, so that means they're 10 in front without this game.
Cool. He likes this one, David does. It's a nice lead by Rawlins. He looks a bit quicker, Mike.
Yes.
Oh,
stopped it.
Stopped it. That's won it.
I think it's true to say that Luck has certainly smiled on the visitor in this game. I'm sure at times Dave Rawlins, he's had a fight for everything that he's got, and Dave is a fighter.
He's going through very quick now. He's got to hit something.
Oh! He has. Just as I say that, the look changes to Dave Rawlins.
Well, and he'll tell you tonight he bowled it, Mike.
Yes, he will. That's
he meant
true.
it.
That's true.
Well, obviously he meant to be up. He's got another nice weight coming in.
This is a fair try.
Mike, just pull up on that green stuff, Mike.
Probably has. Dave's looking all the way around here. He's signalled a 1. So he's still plugging away, the Camden player. 19-17 in favour of Ian Holden. I would gamble, Bob. I think you'll play Yorkshire. I think Yorkshire knew that South Yorkshire would win their group, and they've taken South Yorkshire to Crossland Moor, which is as notorious a green as any in the country. But the significance of that is that they can't select that green to play you.
I know what you're saying, Mike. I went up there and watched our county have 11-1 deficit in that Crossland Moor, and it must be one of their top greens, so good. They can't take us there. Got a good lead on.
Plenty of celebrations in the North Midlands tonight. Ball gone through there. There's Steve Ellis in the background, the captain of North Lancashire and Fylde. He must be disappointed. Dave coming here for 2, which would
on this lip. He's
level his game.
He's got a hold. It can slip into the ditch up there, but no, he's bowled it perfect.
So he's looking for 2 here to level the scores.
That's lovely bowling up there. He's got good weight.
Yes, he's somewhere about.
He's coming in a lower line than David, so let's hope he's going to peg down.
Might not run. 2 more to David Rawlins. That's 19 across.
This will save a shirt, the pair of socks, because when he loses, he don't want to wear the same stuff again. He'll throw it in the bin if he lost.
Oh, I see. Right. Well, of course, he is the centre of attention at the moment, Bob. There's nobody else on the green.
Ah, he loves it.
Because he tells me he's 47, Dave Rawlins.
Is that what he tells you?
Yes.
Oh, he could be. He's going to stop on the top of the hill, I think. It's not going to get down.
Yes, he wanted something better than
about
that.
a yard of weight, and he'd have got down to it. Now, Ian hasn't bowled this mark badly, so he'll be quite confident of beating this first wood of David's.
It's got to go a long way yet, Bob.
If anything, he looks narrow, doesn't he? With the weight, he's going to start dropping down and coming away from the jack on there.
In fact, earlier in the afternoon, that would have trickled all the way away, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
This looks better.
He's certainly got the weight. He's over the hill, I should say. Or he hasn't got a bad wood here.
Got a cracking ball.
Roll it down.
It's a pity his other one was a little far away, because he would have been now counting for game.
But I'm sure Ian will just put that extra yard in. He's on the lower side, Mike. Can't win it.
So that's 2019 to Dave Rawlins. He wants 1, Holden wants 2. This is a good fight back by Rawlins, bearing in mind that he was well behind at the start of the game.
That's one of his attributes, Mike, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to beat him unless they crawl all over him.
Something worth remembering for youngsters: concentration, the ability to fight under pressure, number 12. And Dave Rawlins has displayed all of that this afternoon.
He's used to it, and he plays all these top tournaments, and he played county matches for many years. Concentration, number 1 on this green.
And of course, he's not been lucky in finals, of course, because he's lost in the final of the Crown King in 82. He lost in the final of the Bass Olympia in 87. So, you know, he's been very, very near on a number of occasions. And I, for one, would like to see Dave Rawlins collect
He's bowled a fair wood here,
a winning trophy.
2 foot out. Ian looks a bit quick to me, Mike.
That's right. Now the Midland supporters here are all hoping that this one will go around the back.
There, it's gone.
It's gone. Everybody urging Dave now, because if he wins by 2, it means that the North Midlands will have won at home by 39, 12 in all.
Nice weight again, Mike.
Dave urging this one on.
The crowd are urging it on. They're all pulling it on.
What a cracking bowl. So this is it. All eyes on this bowl, particularly those of Dave Rawlins and his supporters.
He looks too quick to me.
He's gone through, and so Dave Rawlins recovers. He wins his game 21-19 against Ian Holden, which means that North Midlands here at the Bedworth venue have defeated North Lancashire and Fylde by 39. They lost the away leg by 27. They've won overall by 12, and they will now play the final of these Martel Cognac Inter-County Championships on Sunday, September the 5th. Bob Harrigan, President of North Midlands, you must be a very, very pleased man this afternoon.
Oh, absolutely delighted. We've had them come here for the first time. They produced the result, but I think a lot of credit should go to our away team, who's had a marvellous performance up there today. We're in the final once again. Let's hope we can produce the goods. We've got 2 gentlemen on the side here who you're going to have a word with at the moment. I think they're the gentleman who's done the business. You should perhaps have a word with Mike.
Peter Varney, a new member of the County Selection Committee. This must be a very proud moment for you.
Oh yes, I'm ecstatic, and I'm very pleased for the county as well. We've done superb today, and I think especially the last 4 away from home, they've done really well.
And of course in the North Midlands you're now producing players with high competitive experience.
Yeah, we've got quite a few players now that are getting themselves out and about and are becoming very competitive wherever they play, which is great. You know.
The question now, Peter, is we don't know who you've got to play in the final. It's either South Yorkshire or Yorkshire. Now, in 1991, you disappointingly lost to Yorkshire. Whichever team it is, can you go all the way?
I think so, yes. I really think we can this year. We've got a great team spirit going. All the lads are playing well, and we'll just have to see now, but hopefully we can do it.
And have you got a green for the final?
I think so. We've got one up our sleeve, shall we say, that I think might be slipping out.
I have with me now Dave Rawlins. Dave, Peter Varney has just told us that he thinks you've got a green up your sleeve for the final. You're a county selector. People are amazed today that you've chosen this green, but it's come off for you.
Yeah, I thought it's an unusual green. as everybody could see. But the one we've got for the final is even harder than this. I thought we was looking for about 40 plus today, but we're doing well to win by 30 plus, whatever it was. What was it, Mike?
You won here by over 30, yes.
And the one for the final, I think we'll show Yorkshire. We don't know which Yorkshire it is yet, South Yorkshire or Yorkshire, but the green they're going to go on is a very tricky green.
Now, in the last time that you reached the final in 1991, you played Yorkshire, and I know how disappointed you were with your performance then. But I must say today, looking from the side, your performance really was outstanding. You're 12-6 down, you kept fighting, you came back. And I think it's very important for the North Midland players in the final to keep that sort of concentration going.
Well, you know, I've been struggling myself personally for starter games, and I've always just sort of got out at the end. But the North Midlands at the moment in time have got a lot of young bowlers and good players, and they're all playing above themselves at the minute. And today it just proved it. The away side, the last four, brilliant result. In fact, last year we played at Lancashire and Fold, and we had the last four winners there again. Today, I thought it was a very good performance all round.
And so is Dave Rawlings at last going to lift that trophy?
Definitely.
And now Alan Yates, a past president of the North Lancashire and Fylde Association. Alan, you must be very disappointed.
Very disappointed. We think we did a good job here on a hell of a green. This green, the difference in the up and down was tremendous. And I think our lads did a good job here. I'm afraid we feel that the home side has let us down a little bit.
It's not an easy green to bowl, though, for a visitor.
Oh, this is a terrible green to bowl. And to get even 15, 16 on this green, when you don't know it, was a tremendous achievement. The one man I thought was really good was Peter Varley's opponent, who was Richard Hoyles. He was making his debut for the county. We thought we'd hide him in the middle, and look, he came up across.
Now, you're a fairly new county. You're learning all the time. Final question, can you go one better yourselves next year?
Oh, we're hoping to. We keep getting on to knock it to the semi-finals. This is the third time. We've been in the final once. I'm sure one day we're going to do it.
Thank you very much, Alan.